So today we are diving into a true automotive legend, the Renault 4L. You know the one. It's simple, it's utilitarian, and it is just overflowing with that classic French charm. For decades, it's been a super beloved classic. But, and this is a big but, buying one isn't just about falling for its quirky looks. You really need to know what you're getting into.
And yeah, that's the big question, right? How do you separate a well-loved gem from, let's be honest, a rust bucket money pit? Well, that's exactly what this guide is all about. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find the best Renault 4 out there. So let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. It's really important to know that not all 4Ls are created equal. I mean, they were built for over 30 years. So understanding the key generations will help you find the perfect model for you, whether you're a serious collector or you're just looking for a fun car to drive around town.
This little breakdown shows the R4's evolution perfectly. You see, the first generation cars, they're the purest form of the 4L. Super simple, but also, very slow. The second generation, that's kind of the sweet spot. It strikes a great balance with slightly bigger engines, making them way more usable. But if you want the most power and comfort for regular driving, you've got to look for those later GTL models. They're the ones to get.
All right, you found a car. You're ready to go see it. This is where you need to be super methodical. We're starting with 3 non-negotiable checks. Seriously, if a car fails any of these, you need to be prepared to walk away no matter how good it might look on the surface.
Let's be perfectly clear about this. Rust is the #1 enemy of the Renault 4L, full stop. Its simple construction made it really prone to corrosion, and what might look like a tiny little bubble on the paint can be hiding a catastrophic structural problem right underneath. So, where do you look? There are a few critical hotspots you have to check. First, you absolutely must check the main chassis rails underneath the car. They are literally its backbone. Then, peel back the carpets and check the floor pans. Are they soft? Are there any holes? Press firmly on the door sills. Inspect the wheel arches and where the body is welded to the chassis. And don't be shy. Get right down on the ground and get a thorough look.
And here's why this is so critical. Repairing serious chassis rust is not a small job. It is major structural surgery. We're talking about a potential bill of over 3,000 euros, and honestly, often much more, just to make the car safe again. That can easily be more than the car is even worth. Next up, the heart of the car. Now, the Renault 4's engines are famously robust. They're little troopers, but they are not immortal. A tired, worn-out engine can lead to another very expensive repair bill, and the key indicator of its health, it all comes down to compression. The good news is you don't need special tools to get a basic idea of the engine's compression. A healthy engine will start right up from cold, it'll idle smoothly, and have little to no visible smoke coming from the exhaust. On the other hand, a car that struggles to start, idles like it's about to stall, or puffs out blue smoke, that is a major red flag that it's burning oil because of internal wear.
So what does that red flag cost you? Well, if that blue smoke means worn piston rings and low compression, you're looking at a full engine rebuild. A proper job can easily set you back 2,500 euros. And that's exactly why engine health is our second deal breaker.
Okay, our final deal breaker has nothing to do with the car's mechanics or bodywork, but trust me, it's just as important. The paperwork. A car with messy or incorrect documentation can be a legal nightmare, or in the worst-case scenario, make the car completely worthless.
So here are the red flags to watch for. The #1 rule. The chassis number stamped on the car must match the number on the ownership documents, no exceptions. Also be really wary of a recently issued duplicate title. It could be hiding a problematic history. And of course, make sure the title is clean and the car has a valid technical inspection. Any issues here could stop you from ever legally registering the car.
Okay, so the car has passed our 3 big deal breaker tests. That's great. Now we can move on to the finer mechanical details. A key skill here is learning to just listen to the car. It will tell you a whole lot about its condition.
A healthy R4 engine has this distinctive rhythmic hum. What you do not want to hear are harsh metallic knocks or a clattering sound that could point to serious internal problems. When you rev the engine, it should be smooth. Any hesitation or sputtering probably points to fuel or ignition issues. A loud ticking noise? That might just be valves that need adjusting, a pretty easy fix, but it's still something you need to note.
Right, while it's not as critical as, say, structural rust, the condition of the body panels and the interior can tell you a lot about how the car has been cared for. Plus, restoring a shabby interior can get surprisingly expensive really fast. So, inside the car, just run through these quick checks. First, like we said, check for dampness under the carpets. It's a huge sign of leaks and rust. Flick all the switches to make sure the lights, wipers, and the heater fan all work. Look for cosmetic stuff like a cracked dash or torn vinyl. Press on the seats. Has the foam crumbled away to dust? And check the doors. If they sag when you open them, the hinges are worn and that can be a tricky fix.
Now for the most important part of any inspection, the test drive. This is where theory meets reality. It's your chance to feel how all the individual pieces we've just checked work together as a whole car.
A proper test drive isn't just a quick spin around the block. You should follow these 4 phases. First, start the car from cold yourself to check for any smoke. Then, in town, pay attention to the clutch, the feel of the brakes, and how smoothly that gearbox shifts. Then get it out on a faster road. See if the car feels stable and make sure it doesn't overheat. Finally, after your drive, switch it off, wait a minute, and try restarting it while it's hot. Some fuel issues only show up then.
And this is where knowing your models really matters. Listen, don't expect a rocket ship. An early 74cc model is going to take a leisurely 25 seconds to get to 80 kilometers per hour. A later GTL, on the other hand, can do it in about 13. This just helps you manage expectations and judge if the car you're driving is performing the way it should for its engine size.
Okay, you've done the inspection, you've done the test drive. Now it is time to put it all together and make the big decision. It all comes down to assessing the car's true condition and understanding what it's going to cost to get it to the standard that you want.
Now, let's be realistic about what you can expect to spend after you've bought the car. Even a car in excellent condition is going to need a few hundred, maybe €1,000 for preventative maintenance. A good car could easily need thousands for bigger jobs. And a project car? Well, just be prepared to invest significantly more than the initial purchase price to bring it back to its former glory.
So let's just summarize the absolute red lines one last time. This is your final checklist. If you find severe structural rust, signs of major accident damage, a very smoky and weak engine, or bad paperwork, the answer is simple: you walk away. There will always be another Renault 4.
Ultimately, buying a classic like the Renault 4L is a balance of heart and head, but armed with this knowledge, you can look past the charm and make a really informed decision. So the final question is this: have you found a polished gem that's ready to be enjoyed, or a project that's going to become a part of your life for years to come? Now the choice is yours.